Two girls bouncing around a schoolyard know Dr. Tom and Jane Tonniges as Papa and Nana. Rachel and Hallie represent the youngest generation of Tonniges. The girls, along with their brother Zachary, are all adopted from Lutheran Family Services. And with Dr. Tom and Jane as grandparents, that's the most natural thing in the world.
And we look forward to watching them grow up and mature, and we really appreciate LFS having the opportunity to be part of their lives.
For Chris and I, in the decision to pursue adoption, it wasn't a far stretch for either of us because we'd always viewed family or building families as more, like I said, that's within your four walls. I think it was things that we'd learned from them that made it a natural transition for us.
If you were to define family, the Tonniges are the definition of family.
Chris's two sisters are Emily and Betsy. Emily owns and operates a cookie business in Papillion. Betsy is a Ralston school principal. Betsy and her husband Patrick have the fourth grandchild, Chloe. Growing up Tonniges was always an adventure, says Chris.
Being hauled up to Rosebud, which is about a 10-hour drive from where we were at, and then helping him facilitate a free clinic for the kids up on the Rosebud Reservation.
It's a heritage of faith and service that came from Tom's parents and also Jane's parents, Frank and Mary Bruning.
We have a farm and we call it First Harvest because the first part of that harvest goes to God, and that's the way we've always lived our life. First part of what we earn always goes to somebody else, and then we always seem to always have enough to live on. So
there's such a thing as stewardship too. If the capabilities of taking what's entrusted to you and developing it and raising it and growing it, you don't go bury your talents.
Frank and Mary have put their talents to work for decades in their small town of Bruning. At 86, Frank still goes into the Bruning Bank every day. They are proud of their town, their children, and each other. Mary calls Frank the best husband in the world.
He just has so much love for the community. You know, we stepped out the front door and he was pointing out the Opera House and pointing out all these different storefronts and businesses that are thriving in Bruning. And there's just, it's not just a pride in his business or anything like that, it's for the whole community.
Dad was a planner and a dreamer and a hard worker. My mom was a hard worker and paid the bills.
In fact, Mary ran the company's fencing business for 40 years. They also run a farm and a ranch that their children continue to operate. Chris worked with his grandfather in the bank for a while.
My grandparents have always been kind of larger than life figures. Not only for us as grandkids, but I think, you know, for our kids as well, and for the community as a whole of the surrounding communities around Bruning.
I can't think of a better couples that you could recognize than Tom and Jane and Frank and Mary.
Warren and Nancy Whitted have been family friends for decades. They call the Tonniges and Brunings the salt of the earth and pillars of the community. And Jane, says Nancy, is likely to be the one right in the middle, whether it's serving on a board or pulling weeds at church.
She sees what needs to be done, and she just does it. Very quietly, but does it.
Charlie was 5 when he met Tom. It was a meeting that changed both of them forever and affirmed Tom's decision to become a doctor. Despite Charlie's severe cerebral palsy, Tom saw the light in the child's eyes, intelligence, and a passion to learn. Tom urged Charlie's parents to mainstream him, not an easy option in the 1970s. Today, Charlie has a college degree and a career as the head of assistive technology at the University of Oklahoma Medical Center.
I learned there from that experience that when you're dealing with families, dealing with individuals, dealing with problems, you really don't ever give up. That's got to be one of the strong and really lasting impacts of LFS as an organization, that it really never gives up on people.
Kathy Bigsby Moore has known Dr. Tonniges for decades and calls him a man ahead of his time. She believes his fingerprints will be evident on child welfare programs in Nebraska for years to come.
Many of us who care passionately about children owe the entire Tonniges family a round of applause and a lot of gratitude for their commitment.
We all come from different stages in our life. We need special help at certain times in our life, and we need to be there for people.
And Tom and Jane have been there. In Kosovo, teaching doctors. In Mexico, helping earthquake victims. In Romania, treating orphans. And just as an example, in Omaha, helping with the early intervention and prevention programs at LFS. Jane delivered diapers during St. Michael's Diaper Drive. Their motivation?
Do unto others as you would have them do unto you. Equity is extremely important. And you know, when you look at LFS, as I really thought about what this was all about, it as an organization, it really embraces that as a key value. So when you have organizations like LFS that share those same values, it's really very easy to get excited about them.
In fact, Dr. Tonniges served 2 terms on the LFS Board of Directors. But with all of these accomplishments, what are they the most proud of?
I think it'd have to be our kids and how they function and how they contribute as adults.
Really wonderful examples about not only the type of parents that we want to be as individuals, but also the type of people we want to be.
They live it every day. They live their faith in everything they do. They're just outstanding people, the kind of people that you ought to aspire to be like.
You know, I just wanted to thank you guys for always being there for me and standing next to me. There isn't too much more that I could ask for from you guys, so thank you.